All right, here we are. Good Saturday afternoon or evening to, I suppose, everybody in a similar hemisphere to me. We're going to be getting going soon here. Uh, Looking forward to getting some more information on the case here. Those of you who maybe missed something or haven't tuned in before or something like that, we are on day 2 of Disco Elysium, having just talked to a bunch of dock workers union enforcer types who happily admitted to the murder we're trying to solve uh, en masse as an anti-arrest tactic. The conversation didn't go great, but we learned some stuff, and now we're going to be getting back into it. I've titled this particular stream the way that I have as ill-advised immersive Harry LARP, because the plan had initially been to have a little outing, to quote Spy Family, today to a houseplant stores Pride block party, but I was pretty sick last night, and so am on weird sleep, weird eating schedule. I am currently caffeinating and hydrating and relying on stimulants. To get through the day. So we're a little bit closer to the true Harry experience than I usually like to be, but hopefully that'll bring a little bit of realism. So, hello and welcome, Dan, and Anything says thank you for being on-site moderator once again. The Sam Vimes Tactics of Arresting an Army. I guess that's one I haven't read. I don't remember that plot beat, but it does sound like something that Discworld's own Sam Vimes would do, for sure. So let's go ahead and get the game pulled up and be on our way. It says as the game capture does not come up. There it is. All right. Always fun to see if it's actually going to happen or not. Yeah, so I've got us on our thought cabinet here. Seemed appropriate enough. We're currently in the midst of thinking, I guess, internalizing, I think is the word it uses. Rigorous self-critique, our sorry cop thought, if my memory serves. Standing here in the whirling rags. So, I think our first next thing, having talked to all of these fine gentlemen, question mark, is going to be to go see if Kim's colleague at his precinct has run the serial number before. Game audio is very loud in comparison to me. All right, well, thank you for letting me know. Let me turn myself up, and we'll see. Maybe turn the game audio down a little bit in a moment. Keep nudging that, so keep letting me know how it sounds. All right, let's head outside. Okay, better is good. I'll take better. Okay. Let's head to the motor carriage.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Right.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict.
Ooh.
So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
Armor like this isn't mass-produced. It would have probably been fitted. Perhaps there's a record of who signed for this particular suit of armor.
Oh, good thought, Kim, and not one that I would have had. So let's see. First, has the firm continued to work for pharmaceutical companies through all those name changes, or a suit of armor like this would have been good? Okay. Let's see about the work history.
Hard to say. The client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries.
And a suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of the person to whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Thank you, Whisper Decor. Let's see. Yes, thank you, officer. I really appreciate your efforts in this case.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
All right. I think I'm done
57,
there.
over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
And there we go. Well, that was productive. And now we are going to call back again tomorrow. See if Alice has anything else for us. Let's see. Looks like the example of arresting an army comes from Jingo, yeah, which I have not read. But I do like the idea of loitering and intent to disturb the peace and such. Alright, so... let's go bother Joyce, I suppose. She seems to be one of the sort of dangling threads here before we try to figure out a way to make ourselves known to, what's his name, Evra, the union boss. Sorry, no time for you today, Cindy. I know you'd love for me to talk to you. Alright, Joyce. Let's break out our superpower of being annoying.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Let's see. Yeah, let's continue to do as Kim suggested and ask her the questions kind of out of left field before we get to the important ones. I've got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
All right. So we've got some white tests that we can do. We have pretty good chances at, but let's get some more background first. What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
She puts her finger to her lips, then points at you. Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. What's the big time?
The revolution.
She says. And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Ooh, good deployment of the word kerfuffle. Yeah, let's quote our I think it was the limbic system in this case. Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
She looks at you, her gaze sharp. So I could say, sounds like evil to me, okay, neutral, or they're good apes, actually. My brain has been cooked by social media enough that number 3 is, they're good apes, Brent. All my apes are gone. Anything so's. Oh, boy. Let's see. She would say the apes are neutral. Okay, neutral.
On the other hand,
She turns north to the bombed-out buildings lining the waterfront, then shivers slightly.
No, the tiny apes are doing all they can to be better. It's not their fault.
So who got shot in the head?
those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
And isn't that the truth? Oh. Did the communists and anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then. I am doing some math here, and she said 40 million people, and then we have 2 million here. That's 38 million unaccounted for. Truly a kerfuffle. Yeah, truly a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
The lieutenant mumbles from behind his notes.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it.
I had a deluge too in my head. Point to your little head. Gross. Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew.
She shakes her head.
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king, cowardly king. I loved that king. Fucking communists. Or I don't care about kings. Tell me one more thing. Yeah, I think pointing to my little head might be a way to get shot in the little head. Yeah, it seems like. Smart king, cowardly king. I loved that king. I don't care about kings. I don't feel like I gotta hand it to any particular kings. Yeah, heel turn to monarchist would be a twist then. Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse.
Oh my god.
King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Oh great, she's an actuary. Oh. Oh boy. I like that she's talking to a man who has to have very basic concepts explained to him and is using like sarcasm and dry wit. It's almost like she doesn't care if we ever really figure out what's going on. Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
She looks up to the sky, then inland at the crumbling city. Okay, and by liberals you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win it all? Also, ultra-liberal is a very cursed phrase. Word, I guess, because they made it into a compound. How did the liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
Weird that everyone else got shot in the head. I wonder who was pulling the triggers for those last few.
We. She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals already took everything.
The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The Coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
She stomps her rubber-booted foot. Who are the Coalition?
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
Everyone mysteriously got shot passively by bullets that were wandering around looking for heads to run into. Yeah, Dan, that sounds about right. Actuaries are what people think accountants are. One thing that my little bit of accounting education in college, these many moons ago, taught me is that I don't really know what any of these sorts of positions do beyond, work with numbers that represent, like, quantities in the world. The moralist thing to do, you say?
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
Mm-hmm.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I have a feeling that we have not been an extraordinarily good moralist up to this point. Let's see. I don't think I am moralist, ma'am. Or not just technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard about these people. Or if always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am. And also not. Okay, that is very funny. Perhaps an immoralist. Yeah, anything says. Goodness gracious. I mean, yeah, I don't think I am a moralist, ma'am.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
She sizes you up.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
Hand-eye coordination, why are you doing this to me? Alright, I guess we're saying that. Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
That's the way of history.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question.
She smiles mischievously.
The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Zarat do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Oh boy. Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
I'm sorry, Miss Ultra-Liberal. Are you talking about historical materialism? That doesn't sound very liberal to me. Also, I don't think that prions are microorganisms. I think they're just badly folded proteins. Not that I expect Joyce necessarily to know that. Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
And what came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
She spreads her arms, raincoat flapping in the wind.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
Thank you, Inland Empire. Let's see. Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
I love that anytime somebody mentions the police, we just have, like, police-centric clairvoyance of some kind. Also, why are we not playing as somebody named Elfboy?
The Zone of Control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the Suzerain and the Commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
Super cop indeed.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Logic, I really appreciate you doing that, genuinely, because I would not have been able to pick those numbers out of all of this after this little bit of time. So let's see. Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to 19 was simply hell.
Jesus. And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
I have then, in fact, seen at least one episode of That's So Raven. So yeah, no, I do like the idea of it zooming in onto the pupil of our eye to show these little flashes of clairvoyance, especially since the crash zoom involved would probably give way more detail on our face than anybody really wants to see, least of all Harry ourselves. Joyce curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
That was worth a skill point. Hell yeah.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
You don't seem to be thrilled.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just...
She looks at the crumbling tenements, paint flecking from the stone.
We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we'd played it right.
Dangerous question, but what would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
She cranes her neck. Ah, damn it, she turned it around on me.
No, her first.
Thank you, Volition. Okay, so let's see. I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Sarath drove these people mad. I would have killed more, 400 million if that's what it took. I would have made off with the mineral rights, or I don't know what I would have done differently. Not shot so many people in the head, probably. I don't know. We're at 3 right now, so... yeah, Volition. Let's make her go first. Or try to, at least. I asked you. Who are you in all this?
And I asked you, past less detective of the citizens' militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Pretty minimal, honestly. Let's see. A medical solution, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of those where prion diseases are concerned, and it doesn't really sound... I mean, I don't disagree with her that Zarath was the, material catalyst rather than something medically, like precipitating this whole thing. I would have killed more, 400 million if that's what it took, is vague and bloodthirsty. I would have made off with the mineral rights is kind of gross. And I don't know what I'd have done differently is, I mean, I think really genuine, given that, the acute encephalopathy she's talking about here is a factor. But unsatisfying. I'm trying not to be vague when I don't have to be. I'm leaning towards I don't know, though, because, I don't know. Acute encephalopathy has not given me any insight, is the thing. Yeah, no, it does not cover the full range of possibilities. I think, by design, but, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I would have done differently, I suppose. Not satisfying, but...
And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the Coalition took the city.
So you could say probably, or happily, or no way. I wouldn't have fought with the Communards. I'm leaning toward happily here. If she's gonna, kind of lump us in, as it were, I can take the opportunity. Happily.
Good. Not that it would have mattered. In the end, the commune forced everyone to the barricades.
Alright, well that's enough about the times, I guess. Still didn't get her answer.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
Alright, you know what, Rhetoric? Yeah, not so fast. I want to know what you are. She hums.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
Dresker Ice, welcome. We're bothering Joyce. She is both informative and an annoying conversationalist. I suppose materially what you've missed, in this particular stream so far is we did talk to Alice at Kim's precinct on the radio about the armored boots that the dead man was wearing, still is wearing, I suppose, and found out a couple of things, most specifically that the company keeps changing its name and that they were probably custom fitted. Oh yeah, and that whether by occupation or inclination, Joyce seems to be something of an actuary. Let's see. Do I want to? Yeah, let's badger her. What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants.
She says with a sudden flash of teeth.
I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
So I can say, wait, what's an ultra? Or somehow do something Spanish and go, Dios mío, draw across, and a liberal. Or, cool, I liberate myself pretty hard. Or, I don't understand, what's so vile about that? I'm leaning towards drawing a cross there. Lol, who up liberating themselves. Anything so's. You're supposed to be the moderator here. It's funny though. Yeah, let's play along. Dios mío, a liberal.
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
I guess, yeah. We need to make more trouble for our mod here to provide some enrichment in their enclosure, lest they start becoming the problem. Let's see. This is a wild list of possibilities here. You're a monster. I forgive you. I forgive you, but only because you're charming, or I don't care. Den did trigger the mod review once a little while back. That's true. I feel like all of this is basically just, like, kind of pointless conversational sniping. But, I don't know. I'm drawn to the... I don't really like the sort of, like, flippant hypocrisy of I forgive you, but only because you're charming. But I am kind of drawn to the flippancy of, like, well, I from my throne on high forgive you. I think she won't probably be particularly impressed by it, but it's amusing. Or we could play part, right? We could tell her she's a monster like she expects us to. I don't know. I'm kind of curious if I'm just like, I forgive you as though I am her confessor or something. That might be kind of amusing. Let's try that. I forgive you.
I hope you do. I hope we are able to continue as friends, despite my scales and my need to infiltrate and betray your precious revolution.
Take a chill pill, lady. I have acute encephalopathy, in case you forgot.
Honestly, I may have even preferred it, had the communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost.
Yeah, I gathered.
When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
She turns her gaze to the Delta. Yep, because you shot them in the head. Yeah. So let's see if we can actually get her to answer a gosh dang question. What would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Genuinely interesting to discover some kind of conviction buried under all of that smarm. You're a patriot.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
The lieutenant puts down his notes and gives her a look. So we can flatter her, you're a smart woman, or we can conclude with you have daughters. I don't feel particularly inclined to flatter her. I think she is coming across as intelligent enough, but, you know. You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
She closes her eyes and opens them again. Okay, well, let's get a description of acute encephalopathy. Encephalopathy, I think, is how she's been pronouncing it, so that might be more correct.
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
Oh, okay, well, they checked me out for 16.5 real.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective. In case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
See, I know you've got a lot riding on me. I won't let you down. What causes encephalopathy? Or got it, let me ask something else. Let's see. What causes encephalopathy?
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
Whatever else I may be, she heard us realize she's an actuary. I feel like this is a thing that has come up in her rhetoric before this device in a previous stream. Let's see. It's definitely the drinking.
She nods slowly.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie out in the open somewhere.
Horrific necktie. I keep forgetting that you're around just long enough to be completely blinkered when you decide to contribute to a conversation. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, well, let's go down this rabbit hole for number 6 first. And then we'll try our checks. What is this? Spread your hands.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Okay. Not the direction I expected that to go. Let's see. I meant, what is this place here, I suppose?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot.
She spreads her arms almost as wide.
Or two.
What is Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After, les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looks up at the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Cindy, for the more or less literal color commentary. Okay, this is going to be... I think I'm going to regret this, but what is that? Point to Cindy the Skull.
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Man. This whole, liberal capitalist mindset is just very pessimistic. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow.
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
Very matter of fact, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, she's, droll, I guess, would be the way I would put it. All right, well, let's see if we can't ask, think of something close to you.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Critical failure on that one. We were due, I think, for something a little bit like that. But we can hopefully come back to it a little bit later, maybe even relatively quickly. I'm not looking to put a lot of points into Esprit de Corps, but, it'll reopen a white check if we needed to. And our Je me vous thought is complete, so as long as we don't critical fail, we should have this very fundamental one here. What is reach for something fundamental?
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The fading pearls of her eyes look to the sea.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it, in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Oh. Fun. And yeah, she's not a TTRPG player. Yeah, this is the other one. Let's see. Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment, or this world does not deserve a term of endearment, or wait, is this the one with the evil apes? She said the thing! Yeah. I'm gonna turn to the camera and be like, the Elysium was in our hearts all along. Make a slight adjustment to my setup here. Just move. Oh. Try that again. There we go. move that a little bit out of the dialogue. This disco was a real Elysium. Thanks, anything says. Let's see. Yeah, Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
What a word. I don't feel like I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
She raises her finger to her lips. How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What shape is this world, then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Ooh, we get to be an anime character for a second. A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
Dang, we've been standing here long enough for it to start snowing. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are gray flares and prominences, even arcs above entire islas, but the images are blurry. But if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. Interesting. Very interesting. Confusing.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait, what the hell are you telling me? Or the pale? And what do you mean corona? Half-Light, you're scaring me. Discworld. Pinned that, thank you, anything says. The pale? And what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
I'm trying not to.
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
I like the option of, okay, and then everything will be okay? But a fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco, or doesn't sound like any kind of disco I'd go to, or I don't care about disco, I only care about the commune. Okay, well, we are trying to be a rock star. Let's see. Well, if you say it's disco...
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
You ask the important questions, Dan, and the problem is that I don't actually know if we're talking crowning, like, royalty or, like, birthing.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
Okay, you said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Thank you, Kim.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
Oh boy, yeah. Maybe it's both types of crowning. In which case, you just really have to worry about regents, I suppose. She bows and turns to you. All right, we're gonna follow Kim's advice.
The lieutenant glances at you from the corner of his eye.
Talk to Joyce about the pail without Kim.
Was he just worried that you would find out something awful? But she wants to tell you.
Interesting.
This is not going to happen with the lieutenant present, unless you can convince him to step aside.
I mean, we have a pretty good shot at it, and I'm enjoying our conversation with Joyce, so we, ask for Kim to step away while you discuss the pail. Sure, it's only 1:30.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the man alone for a second?
Fine.
He steps away with his notes.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now, what is the pail?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the pail?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Okay, so what is an isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is...
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what is the pail like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Okay, well, I appreciate that this world turns out to be a lot weirder than it at first appears. Let's see. If we're surrounded by... It's the Unsart? Oof, yeah. Yeah, Drask, let's see. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Her lungs deflate. Her words sound like a sigh.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
Well, this is getting weirdly kind of Neathy, kind of a Fallen London touch here. Maybe this is what happened to our memories. Yeah, then. Maybe.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
Sounds like an academic debate. What does this overradiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories.
Huh. Are you overradiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Let's see. How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or...
What do you think, Detective?
Let's see. By her tone, I'm guessing it's growing. There's more and more of the pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Okay, so... if this turns out to be like a weird, backward, reverse spin-off of the Neverending Story, I'm going to be really taken aback. Standing athwart the ontologies of Fallen London and Final Fantasy XIV. Man, I have not watched enough Final Fantasy XIV story content to know exactly what that means, but yeah, Dan, I was definitely thinking the nothing more than Drask's Final Fantasy XIV, but yeah, I know the Fallen London bits about memory and past kind of having presences in physics. That's very Fallen London to me. I was worried for a minute. It doesn't seem as much like it's going in this direction now, but I was worried for a minute that it was going to be sort of about being on digital storage, as this is a world that exists, you know, literally in digital storage, and I don't like that kind of video game metatextuality as much as I used to. A little played out, has taken over some more interesting stories a number of times, so you know, not to say that it would automatically be bad, but you know, it would have been athwart my broad preferences, and doesn't seem to be as much where it's going now. Some Ian Banks shit instead. Yeah, Drask, think so. Let's see. Cover everything. That can't be. Where would we go? I like kind of playing into our definitely real idiocy here. You know, playing into it in this conversation seems amusing.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge.
Well, that sounds real as hell.
I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild pale yonder.
One and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
She closes her eyes.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's see. What is entroponetic? Entroponetic?
Entroponetics
Ooh.
is the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has intraponetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale.
Huh.
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not?
Then they don't.
I mean, okay. What are the Pale's physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
That seems reasonable, honestly. Is it here? Look around.
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
And point north there is exactly a dialogue option I could see picking in Sunless Sea, honestly, for kind of the same reasons.
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. The Great Vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
I love the very sort of prosaic name here.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
She closes her eyes and breathes out heavily. Porch Collapse is a great band name. Yeah, specifically for like a kind of garagey, somewhere maybe on like the cowpunk spectrum. All right, well, let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective.
She stomps her foot.
Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
So let's see, we have nothing, just alcohol fumes and blackout, or I sometimes sense vague shadows of the past and it's not good. Or I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this. I mean, by this point in the game, 3 is probably the most apt. So yeah, I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
A lot of options on this one. It's terrifying. You were right. It's disco. It will end all life. We continue to persist at all as a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with the immediate total ruthless communism. Look. I am more closely aligned with, sort of historical materialism than with some other viewpoints, but I don't really think that like dark matter is a concern that any type of communism, whether it's Smizovian or otherwise, can really affect directly. It's a powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried. I have to say it doesn't sound very liberal to me. Or I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Or who am I to think anything of it? Let's see. Yeah, I feel like Economic Systems Den cannot defeat antimatter. I don't know that defeat is exactly the way I would think of it either. Like forces of nature, it's not... it would be weird to be like, if only we had communism, we could solve gravity. Or, I mean, honestly, genuinely, the thing that we've kind of got, it's not as inscrutable. It's a much more measurable kind of thing. But like, the capitalism and climate change, right, is already kind of a broad parallel here. I feel like trying to make this a political thing is kind of silly. Deliberately so, I assume. But, you were right. It's disco.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
So I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. This is the one they remember me by, I promise. Or, yes, I'm in serious trouble here, or it'll be a fucking disaster. I know it. All those people will die. Who? All which people? Those people. Good lord. Overpromising is kind of in character how we've been playing the game so far, but I doubt that she's going to buy it. I am in serious trouble here. It's not really under control, but I might be able to handle it. I've made some progress in the investigation so far. And yeah, Ken isn't here to impress. You're right, Den. I'll handle it. It's under control.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
Yeah, we are trying.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
So you needn't have worried, or that was fucking insane, Kim, or right, let's get to work, Lieutenant, or some more reality lowdown before we go. I mean, now that Kim is here and we're trying to impress him, right, let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
She nods you goodbye. Okay, I probably am going to ask her about the case next, honestly. I know we've been doing a lot of talking to Joyce, but she's kind of the loose end to wrap up before we do other stuff. However, as I mentioned at the top of stream, we're sort of LARPing as Harry a little bit today, in that we are recovering from a hard night of illness and disrupted plans and relying on stimulants to get us through. So I am, an hour into gameplay going to need to run to the restroom real quick. So I'm going to throw the be right back screen up here and put on the soundtrack and be back in just a couple minutes after also refreshing my beverages. So please do stick around. It shouldn't be long. We'll be back soon, and you'll have some tunes to enjoy in the meantime. Here we go.
to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally.
And we're back. Oh, I love the little dancing dinosaurs. That actually reminds me, Den, based almost entirely on you talking about it from time to time, I noticed that Paleo Pines was on sale today. Picked it up and played an hour or so before stream. Very fun so far. I look forward to ranching many a dinosaur. Excited about that. All right. Anything says is actively playing Paleo Pines right now, which is unsurprising, but yeah. Drask is a dinosaur in that game. Aw. I believe it. All right, let me cut the game audio back on, and we'll get right back into it. The sounds of weather immediately assail our ears. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, we got our reality lowdown and the Pale. So I know I've spent a huge amount of time already just talking to Joyce, but my inclination is to spend more time talking to Joyce. Talk to her about the case now that we've done the whole reality lowdown thing. Now, we could use one of our 3 points to unlock that esprit de corps check with her while we're here. Could be a dinosaur in your home. I'm kind of inclined to do that. One of the things that I'm kind of thinking about with this is it's really interesting the way that it's paced, right? When you start out the game, you look at this screen, right? And it's a huge number of individual like level up points, that there's space for. But unlike most experienced systems, this doesn't slow down. There are certainly like milestones where you get more experience and then smaller things where you get less, but there's like a real pacing innovation here compared to a lot of other experience-based, mostly reading games, I think. It's interesting. Yeah, we already have such a high esprit de corps, and we're very close to where we would have had to critical fail to fail, but we did critical fail. So if we want to have that open again, we have to invest. But now that I'm thinking about it too, if there are other white esprit de corps checks around, we may want to do those before we put a point in and try again, because if we fail those, then we'll need to put another point in it later on down the line. I'm okay with it not being done right this instant. So let's see. Oh, it stopped snowing. Let's see if we can talk to Joyce about the case.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, so let's do the case-related stuff. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
What was that about, not taking positions on anything earlier?
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Okay, so what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
She points to the small dots on the horizon.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
This is pointing east toward the harbor. So how much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
And here I am digging through trash cans for scrap to sell so I have a place to sleep.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What is it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop as she grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Den, I'm so glad we have you for this part of the conversation. Asks, is it a public company or privately held? Why can you give info from the income statement but not the balance sheet? Yeah, she is a liberal, yeah. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families is a tremendous responsibility indeed. Yeah, I have a feeling, Den, that it's a lot less about can and a lot more about will, regardless of how she phrases it. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Very interesting. Old company at this point. And now when you talk about trade between Isolas, I'm like paying a lot more attention. I decided to just break my calculator out real quick because 20 billion and 72,000, the numbers that she's given us, of course, very blunt calculation, as she notes there are expenses of various kinds, but the division works out to 277,777 real and 78 centimes per employee in terms of their last year's statement.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
That is an interesting way to state that. Oh, anything so. Is the bridge being blocked like a bridge to another Isola? I believe you might be referring to the water lock, which is just like from one part of Martinez to another part of Martinez, I think, if I'm understanding you correctly. It's like a canal, I think. And yeah, Drask has taken everything from its employees. What is such a huge system want with a place like this? Look around.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
She gives you a little smile. 8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed. Or, you don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. Or, that's all I needed to know. So, yeah, oh, the dock workers. Gotcha. Understood. Yes, anything so. The dock workers are blocking something, and I don't actually know. It doesn't sound like there are bridges between Isolas, but that could also just be vernacular. And certainly they seem to be blocking shipping between Isolas, regardless of what they're blocking. Sorry, I misunderstood your question. And then Den saying that it probably lists the employees as assets on the balance sheet. If you are unfamiliar with it, then Hard Space Shipbreaker is a game I've been playing more of recently, and is quite good. And yeah, has a plot centered around essentially labor organizing and corporate abuses. It's I think a good thing to look into if you haven't. And yeah, like a jump gate or wormhole type bridge, maybe. I don't remember reading that specific terminology, but yeah, it would be cool for sure. So yeah, you don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company's nothing without them, and she's gonna have a snarky comeback for that. Yeah, don't ever let a company list you as an asset. That means they can sell you upon liquidation. Sage words, Den, sage words.
We built this district.
She says calmly.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plaza's Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
Fascinating.
A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
She takes a sip.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Interesting. What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Yeah, company resort town indeed. One, it's very interesting, of course, what they did to it. She elides from building of the town to the revolution, but obviously some of the stuff that's here was damaged in the wars around the revolution. So, there's a transition there that she's not telling us about. So it would seem, anyway. Yeah, very smirking comment indeed, Drask. Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Elements that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus, I will slay it. Or, how do I repeal it then? The Emergencies Act of Trade in Elements, good lord.
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Alright, leave it alone.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Oh, welcome, NK93. Yeah, Joyce does give Thatcher vibes. Little more droll, a little less rancid, but yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. So what is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
Right, Kim is here.
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
What a reveal. Tell me more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
Alright, well, how are the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
She pauses to think.
But the strike began in December.
Oh, interesting. Kitsuragi looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Oh boy.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Yeah, alright, so... what happened to this... Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Okay, what are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Interesting. So I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business, or forget it. I wanted to ask something else about the strike. Every worker a member of the board. Huh. Yeah, Drask, pretty funny in the scale that this is about. I'm trying to figure out, I guess, what they're actually like imagining here. Because like theoretically, like a worker-owned co-op at the scale of 72,000 would probably still have some sort of like smaller, like, you know, organizational structure that, you know, sort of collated information. Yeah, I would still vote for the board. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, position to start negotiations from strikes me as the thing, but then they're not negotiating, right? Like as a position that you can concede from. But then that's not what they're doing. And I mean, I have an inclination from different kinds of RPGs I've played to sort of be like, oh, wow, you know, and kind of encourage her. But that's not always the way this one plays, really. It just seems like they have no idea about business is a kind of non-committal thing to say, which I'm sure the game is going to give me shit about, but that's okay. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
Yeah, okay. So demand democracy is a different kind of thing. What does that even mean? Keep talking, Joyce.
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Okay, so we can say the workers can't be kings, the king is king, or the king is dead, long live the workers, or that's pretty funny, I have to admit, which is kind of what I'm leaning toward here, because it does seem like that has to be something of the point, right? Like they're making this demand. It almost seems like it has to be partially facetious. Yeah, so that's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
Good point. What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening
There we go.
position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
The lieutenant looks up from his notes.
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Man, I gotta get more creative with my name. Maybe I could go from being Adam to being Madam I'm Adam. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
She raises her eyebrow. Boy. Spoken like somebody who hires the Pinkertons.
If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Tell me about this Union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
I mean, I probably mostly have alcohol, and I don't want to just assume that you have something other than a viscous goo.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Let's see. So we can say some normal-ish stuff. Is he that bad? He can't be that bad. Nothing. Or Everard is a hero of the workers' movement. Or we can use our hand-eye coordination jumping off point here to you sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. Which I'm going to go with. You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
Then, I'm assuming talking about Call Me Manana. So either this guy was hitting on her or has a name that indicates he's hitting on people and also not available for work. This is reminding me of someone I was previously friends with who had a tattoo of your name. Oh, that's pretty funny. So yeah, she's smiling while picturing something kind of upsettingly close to what we saw with the corpse behind the whirling in rags. Let's see, is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Let's see, what about the union itself, outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
The lieutenant says succinctly.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Goodness gracious. Having talked to only the ones who are confessing to a murder so far, I don't feel that I am in a really great position to weigh in. So we have an effective advocate for the rights of local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol, basically a socialist mob, or I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. Ugh. I mean, it does seem like even Kim is, well, both critical of the Union as a crime organization, but also admits that the RCM has essentially abandoned Martinez, right? And that this is sort of like filling a vacuum. She does already think we have no opinions, yeah. Though she keeps asking our opinions, I notice. Man, I keep being given conversational options that are sort of deliberately strident, I suppose, and then an option to just be like, I don't know. Let me see. Man, I've racked up a couple of fascist, ultra-liberal, and moralist positions here. Interesting. I guess that preferring not to have an opinion would make us more moralist in this case. Like, I don't think that what we've seen so far paints them as an effective advocate for the rights of local working men. It remains unclear to me how accurate it would be to describe them as socialists, even if it is accurate to describe them as a mob. I mean, I guess I'm backing myself into a corner here. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things is kind of the... I don't know, it's like the easy way out. I guess I could go for a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol, but, like, I don't know about that. That seems over dramatic. If it had even just said sucking the life out of Martinez, I would be less conflicted. I mean, that's the thing. Most of what I know about the Union comes from a conversation with the Hardy Boys, and then this conversation, plus Kim's color commentary. Yeah. I don't love it, but I think I'm gonna wimp out here. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things.
Of course, officer.
Well, at least she let it go quickly. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Okay, that's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
Alright, we'll ask her about the lynching in just a second. Let's see. The problem with the socialist thing is that it seems to fall into the same trap many or I'm assuming real life such have authoritarianism. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good summation, Dan. So what can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Okay, well, I think I have one of those things.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
I thought we did. Interesting. We found something. Oh, right, it was on our jacket. It was the little insignia. That's what I'm thinking of. My bad.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you.
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when I told you I literally cannot remember even the most basic facts about reality?
How can I forget?
She tilts her head to the side. One of those facts is where my badge is, another is my name.
I was hoping your condition was rhetorical, Detective. A questioning technique.
It's not, I wish it were, or perhaps it is, but it's also true that I don't remember where my badge is. I wish it were.
I have sympathy for your highly unusual condition, sir, and I believe you. But as it stands, I cannot share any confidential information until I've seen both your badges.
I figured that would be the case. Sorry, I rushed past your suggestion there, Drask. I came in a little bit after I had clicked.
I understand the dictates of protocol, ma'am, but is there no way around it?
I'm afraid not, Lieutenant. These are my employer's orders.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Okay, well, it's a red check, but it's a pretty decent chance here. I mean, more than decent, really. What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
Interesting. Oh, man. We got a little boost from thinking about that. Yeah, Trask, I think the boat failure there is our failure to nail her on being rich enough to own a boat when we failed that role the first time we talked to her. I think this is a decision we don't have to make. I don't know where our badge is, but I think there are a couple places we can check to maybe find it. So hopefully we'll be able to come back. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear.
She grabs the mainstay and leans towards you.
The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
Duly noted. Do you know something about these tattoos? Show her the photo.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
She almost takes a photo, but stops. Why? How is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching? I mean, that actually seems a little bit obvious, honestly. So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Ugh. She's tiresome. Alright, thank you. That's all for now. Alright, so we've got Joyce's info on the lynching added to our thingamajig. So, okay. I think we got... Yeah, we have the pry open possibility on this ledger. Let's see if we can't maybe use that. I mean, yeah, our bonuses are all functioning. Honestly, let's put on our stupid hat just in case. Alright, let's see.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Let's see. This is the one I was thinking of here. Open the hidden compartment on the board. Interfacing. I don't think I had anything that was going to help me with that. Yeah, today's one for pronunciation. Urinal cleaner. Let's try and open the hidden compartment.
Is
Nope.
still not what happens. Fuck this compartment. You should throw it away. Strange. Why does it make you so angry?
I am presumably because we've had this problem before. Let's, while we're here, try our other white check. Can I read the case files now?
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120117000, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41, weren't those officer precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Debbie Behringer? Kram Darian Benzinken? Those aren't my initials, I'm not feeling them. Or, wow, I don't know what to say to that. I like Horace Debbie Behringer quite a lot, honestly. Horace Debbie Behringer?
That is improbable.
Well, okay, you're no fun logic. How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Alright, I think I'm not going to do this in the middle of the day, but it's good to be able to revisit them when we want. And our cases are the Next World Mural, the Unsolvable Case, the Square Bullet Hole Murders, the Couch in an Unexpected Location, and Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Any of which would make for really excellent... what is the... I already forgot the book detective's name. Oh, this is going to bug me. I'm going to have to go back and look. Oh, very good noodle incidents, Trask. Yeah. I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Okay. I think I am going to... Let's see. Damage Solicitor needs interfacing. I think I am going to use one of our points here to bump up interfacing and try again. Because if our... badge is in there. Yeah, let's give that a try. Oop. A little jittery there. Okay. Let's try
It's the
again.
ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the
72%
permeables
chance this
drawer
time.
inside.
Let's
It's
see.
barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Dick Mullen, thank you, Dan. Thank you. Yeah, these would be great Dick Mullen books. All right, let's try again. Yeah.
Just
Hey.
relax. The two sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide the drawer open, or wait, somehow I don't want to. Yeah, let's slide the drawer open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
All right. I don't know exactly what the number 3 fucking kill yourself you asshole is responding to here. Let's start with the ticket stubs.
Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Oh, nice. Let's pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Date with Kim. Date with Kim. Yeah, I think these are used tickets since we just have the stubs, but now at least we have an idea for a date. Huh. Okay. Smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
That sounds familiar.
Exactly like the gum wrapper you found. The same brand of chewing
Yeah,
gum.
exactly. Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Look, Volition. I appreciate all you've helped me with so far, but it will make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Oh, no. We're going to hold on to it. Read the card.
Your hands shake, holding on to it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Keep reading. We've got some morale to spare.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Keep reading.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Oh boy.
No. Hold on.
Okay, Endurance, I'll hold on. Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
I guess not, Kim. Fall sideways. Alright, how much time do we lose and where do we end up? Is that literally credits?
There is nothing. Again.
Okay, alright. Nothing?
Nothing said, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Just lie there, passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
What a good delivery of the word slimy. Or, yeah, that's the stuff. Or, no, I was cool. I'm cool. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Was that the X something? Or where is Voyager Road? Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Was that the X something? The
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
no, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
I guess fair enough. Yeah, limbic system voice actor, we appreciate your service indeed. Enough, just lie there, motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. Drink or no, I don't wanna. The number of times I have been around folks who really needed to drink water, and yeah, get that poison away from me. Yeah, so drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Yeah, I like that would have healed us had we had any health that needed healing.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
He tilts the canister. I thought we were kind of abstracting that stuff. Like, I also haven't used the bathroom in 2 days. Drink.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
Let's see. I came in contact with the burnt out ruins of the past, Lieutenant, or I was dehydrated, it won't happen again, or fuck it. And climb out of the motor car, or I should ask you the same. Yeah, I mean, that one doesn't conclude, so I should ask you the same.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
Doesn't look like we were out for that long. How long was I out?
10 minutes, maybe.
Oof. I came into contact with the burnt out ruins of the past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen.
He hands you the remains of your old ledger, and we gained the ledger of failure and a hatred.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Let's solve this case.
Good.
Alright, well that was bracing, I guess would be the word for it. Oh, orb.
Droplets of rain fall on the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Kinema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Point to the vehicle. Very cool. Or, I don't like your machine, Lieutenant. It looks impractical. Or, shrug. A motor carriage, one of many. Or, actually, motor carriages don't interest me. I mean, we have to compliment Kim's car, right? That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
Lieutenant smiles ever so slightly. Let's see. What's it packing there? Point to the engine.
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
That's what? Rub your chin. A 7-liter V12?
7.2. Supercharged.
Lieutenant is trying to suppress a smug smile unsuccessfully.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
That was my hope. A fine machine. Run your hand over the smooth metal surface.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
In my mind, while we're running our hand over his car, we're making direct eye contact with him. Maybe some fluttering lashes. There's a gentleness in the lieutenant's voice as his eyes run over the vehicle's contours.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down.
You know, electrochemistry, I have not listened to you very much so far this game, so you need to slam it, Kim. Make it more imposing.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Lingo it up.
Drop the ride 200 mil, get the camber to frosty minuses.
No, that's porno tuning.
Wait, what about the spinners then, huh?
Those spinners were elegant, sleek, radiant even. What you're suggesting is porno.
It's what?
Porno. That's short for pornography.
Thank you, Kim. I wouldn't have figured that one out.
The sole purpose of pornography is to stimulate one's visual sense to evoke sexual arousal. The same is true with the modifications you're proposing.
He wants a classy sex scene. So he goes, so what's wrong with pornography? Or pornography is something completely different, Kim. Or, alright, I guess I did get a bit porny there. I mean, yeah, I think probably I did in the sense that he means it.
I'm sincerely relieved I don't have to try and convince you of that. Back to work.
Okay, let's move. And check on our thought cabinet. White morning. Ooh. We can get some bonuses here. Oh, we're on Aces High. White morning. -1 authority. More authority gone while we're doing this. We're undermining our authority by being too thoughtful, which I guess is kind of an elegantly observed little thing. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object, letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Man, the writing in this game. All right, I don't know how many more thought cabinet drawers we've got, but we got the points to unlock one, and I don't know, we're not using our authority right now anyway. Let's internalize white morning. Got too many thoughts in our thinker. And now we have the ledger of failure and hatred. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. And it looks like we can hold it in our hand to get Inland Empire and Empathy, though, again, also really just complete the utter nerfing of our authority. Yeah. Man. Authority is at -1. I wasn't sure they could go lower than 0. That's incredible. Our empathy is quite high, as is our inland empire. That seems to be driving us in interesting directions. Well, I will leave it there for the time being, but... Oh, you know what? I forgot to take our hat off. We don't want to nerf our rhetoric too much. Current jacket is giving us conceptualization. Yeah. Gotta remember to mess with our clothes a little bit before we try white checks that we have to come back to. Okay, I did just have this open. Yeah, we're thinking about perception as well. We can't talk to the smoker on the balcony until later this evening. I'd love to track down our badge. Alright, well I guess it's time to see if we can get in to see the union bosses. Not entirely sure what's going to be involved in that, but, you know, we can try. Can we talk to you?
Welcome to Rivachol.
Alright, well, I guess we haven't. I feel like this is going to be a very unpleasant conversation, but whatever. Probably not an important one. The remark isn't addressed to you, it's addressed to the lieutenant. Alright. Why are you addressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago.
The lieutenant fires back.
Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Boy, what's happening? You sound angry, Kim. When that... Sure, why not? You tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
He pays you no attention.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
He's right. You're undermining our best shot at real self-determination. Or stop ripping into this guy. He's just really proud of being a Revacholian. Or, so we are in a limbo. Oh. Being able to be like, I knew this was an afterlife in this situation strikes me as very funny. Let's back up our boy. He's right. You're undermining our best shot at real self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
God, tell him, Kim.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
So you'd say, fucking A, Kim, I've got your back. Give the lieutenant a punch on the shoulder. Or, well, I think we all learned something here. Smile at the lorryman. Or, now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions. I mean, if we're taking Kim as kind of our role model here, number 2 makes the most sense. So, well, I think we all learned something here. Smile at the lorryman.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lorryman shakes his head with indignation.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness. You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Those two things are weirdly close sometimes. Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
He waits impassively, cigarette smoldering between his fingers. Oh, I am not going to be showing him the mug unless I'm given some pressing reason. What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
And how long has this been going on then?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
He gestures towards the lorries. What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up?
Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
Not right now, honestly. We're done for now. I'm trying to talk to the union men. Actually, does our bag have anything in it? I don't know if we'd be able to tell. I don't think we've picked up any more garbage recently. Oh, the doors of this lorry are... Let's check on the machine.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says,
Alright. We do not have any garbage. Alright, so let's see what all we can do. Door.
a lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Let's look in the window.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
You indeed, Drask.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
The lieutenant nods towards the racist lorry driver. You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Alright, well, that was not materially useful, but... Let's see.
Scab?
Oh, hi, call me manana. He asks a man with jolly eyes, tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
So you ask, what exactly is a scab? Or, yeah, I'm a scab, poor and downtrodden, wave your fist, right to work. Or, I'm not a scab, I'm a cop, proceed, or walk away. Let's ask for his definition of a scab, why not? What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Hold on, where did they all come from?
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mass, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
You tried talking to him?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
He shakes his head.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
Fair enough. I'm not a scab. I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab.
He smiles. His smile deepens and wrinkles even more.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
He chuckles, then realizes.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
Let's see. Hey, you're the man in boots at the gates. Kuno said you know about the armor. Interesting. I need to get past these gates and talk with your boss. I'm a bit short of money right now. Can you give me some of it? Good God. Let's talk about the strike first. What's the strike about, anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He smiles.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Good idea. Suggestion. Couldn't remember which skill that was for a second. Hey, you're the man in boots at the gates. Kuno said you know about the armor.
The little boy had it good on his promise.
He smiles. His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno used us to what? Scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. The probe into the armor. What did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
You know, they don't want to talk about a drunk cop either.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
He explains with a wry smile.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Let's see. Hold up, 4 pieces? Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
Fascinating answer. Let's see. I'm ambitious. I'm going to find all of it. All the pieces.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied. He finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
You know what, Kim? I also find it unlikely.
A Mesquite's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you.
He glances south where the canal runs. Thank you for the cooperation, sir.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He finally takes a swig from the flask.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
I need to get past the gates and speak with your boss.
Oh. Good, good. What matters do you want to discuss with Everard?
Let's see. He might have information about a killing that took place behind the hostel, or there's been talk of suspicious activity at the harbor, or I can't disclose any details of an ongoing case. I mean, I guess I don't see any reason to play coy here. So he might have information about a killing that took place behind the hostel.
Everard's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, eh? Doesn't often dole it out, though. But sure, why not?
Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
He takes a swig and points up the stairs with his flask.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems doubtful. If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
That's simple. I just walk in,
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
past Measurehead.
Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him,
He points at the bridge above the gates. Right.
then press the button to unlock the door,
Uh-huh.
then go past him again,
Okay.
and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
So you're saying it's actually quite difficult.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation,
That seems extremely unlikely.
or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone here ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
He fixes his eyes on you, evaluating your prowess. What prowess? Has any of the scabs tried converting to his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Got it. Another thing.
Sure.
The man whistles a jaunty tune, the wind rustling his whiskers. Nice talk. Gotta get moving. Okay. Oh boy. Confront Kuno. Aw, I don't want to confront Kuno. Getting the boost off the victim's feet. Oof. Alright, let me see about our stats here. Our authority is grim. We should probably try and have a little bit of authority if we're going to go talk to people. I think logic's not going to be super useful against Measurehead. Alright, what does that put our authority at? 2? Better than it was. Yeah, our thought cabinet is slapping 3. And at this point, we have it in 3 different things. I'm trying to figure out if there's something we can do for another 4.5 hours. See if either of these stop sapping our authority once they're completed. I just don't know where to go. Otherwise, I guess as long as we don't run into any red checks, though, yeah, we can give it a try. And we can save first, just in case. Here we go. Ooh, orbs. A notice. In case of a strike, press button behind guard. A hermetically sealed door, locked by electronic means. Okay. There's no lock picking or door kicking this one. Alright. He's got a posse, I guess. I imagine that any conversation with somebody named Measurehead is going to be very pleasant. Just a second, I'm going to mute my mic while I readjust the arm here so that it doesn't give you a horrible noise. Okay. Now I think we're probably about as ready to talk to Measurehead as we're ever going to be. Oh, there's a box there, too. Another quick save just to be on the safe side. Okay. Measurehead is law, apparently.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
What an opening line. Your body betrays your degeneracy, huh, Measurehead? All right. Off to a great start.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees. So let's see, we can say nothing, size him up. What do you mean? My body does not betray my degeneracy. Or my body isn't important. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbor. Well, let's size him up first, I suppose. Gonna do a lot of sizing up. He's big. So, say nothing, size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Shh. We puff out our chest, which doesn't seem like it's gonna do a whole lot. Let's see. Yes, he did just call us a ham sandwich. I'm assuming, you know, pig, police, and, I don't know, sliced and ready to consume. What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy?
You have succumbed to Al Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he were just smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al Ghul? Or Kim, is it really so bad? I'm guessing we didn't bring a toothbrush with us. You're right, I'm an alcoholic. Now I need to get into the harbor. I don't have a problem with Al Ghul. I just drink a little on weekends. Wait, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
But what is Al Ghul?
Al Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
You mean alcohol?
Correct. My small skull servant.
Good God. I'm beginning to understand why they call him Measurehead. That's a lie. I kind of understood it from the jump. Let's see. Kim, is it really so bad?
It's not good.
All right. We need to get some of that apricot gum before we try to kiss Kim.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk, and drowned.
I was expecting more calipers. You know what, Drask? I don't see him as being much of a scientific racist so much as like a spiritual or a transcendental one. Or he trusts his intuition and sort of perception enough. He's an expert enough in all of the measuring that he doesn't require precise instrumentation. Alright, you're right. I'm a servant of Al Ghul, but I still need to enter the harbor.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Okay, that does throw a wrench in my it's a cop thing assumption.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
The fat racist over there, point to the racist lawyer, you're just him after pumping some iron, or I am the police and I need you to comply now, or the race stuff is unimportant here, I just need you to help me do my job, please. I mean, the third one is probably what I would say if I was there in the situation, but I do kind of want to stir the pot a little bit and make him mad. Definitely not going to intimidate him, that's for sure. And he does not think the race stuff is unimportant here. So, as loath as I am to indulge in what is a emerging pattern of this game's very casual hatred of fat people, That racist over there, you're just him after pumping some iron.
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race.
He pauses in melancholy reflection.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture.
I'm really confused as to what it is this guy thinks is genetic versus racial versus cultural. I mean, I guess I shouldn't expect, like, internal consistency, logic, but, you know, it's very much like he wants to own us with facts and logic, but I don't know.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Why did he ask her for her input?
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Okay, so come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back, push him out of the way. You're right about all this, now I just need you to let me into the harbor, or the situation is serious, your people have probably killed a man, I need to talk to your boss. I don't think any of this is going to work. Let's see. Let's start with, come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
The situation is serious. Your people have probably killed a man. I need to talk to your boss.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war.
My man, what do you think my position in the government is?
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
Very gracious of you, I guess.
The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Okay. This is every bit as dizzying as talking to a real-world equivalent of one of these people. I am kind of impressed by the word microcephalic. And, I don't know. He says a corpus of art consisting of odes to homosexuality like it's a bad thing? Weird.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Seminese supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Rhetoric, you're weird. Isn't Evrard, the union boss, white? Know anything about this mug? Good God. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys? Or what are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean? Or a very low chance with Physical Instrument 3 of knock him out. That would be so satisfying, though. Unfortunately, I think we could only get it up to 5, even with maxing it out. Conceptualization, we can subscribe to his advanced race theory. Reluctant to do that, but it may be one of the only ways around this. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Okay, you said it, not me. Well, I guess I said it first, and then you've said it now. He gestures towards the lorryman down the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Oh boy. You're sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? Or, you're right, that's craniometric perfection. My race does not stand a chance. Or say nothing. Oh, man, I don't really want to engage with the premise, but, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to convince him that we are in earnest with agreeing with his weird race science stuff without internalizing it, but we should actually engage with the premise. Spurk is real. Den, you are thinking of a much preferable premise than the one I was referring to, but you are right for what it's worth. Alright, Hail Mary. You're right, that's craniometric perfection. My race does not stand a chance.
Correct.
Okay, well, whatever. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
The only premise I suggest we engage with. Yeah, then probably wise. He looks towards the coast defiantly and calls the Hardy Boys an effeminate clique of bodybuilders whose company is spiritually degrading. But you're all part of the union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Simonees.
Race heroism.
Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
I really want to know what radio dramas, milieus, I think is what they call them in this setting, this guy listened to learn his turns of phrase. Okay, this isn't going to make a difference. Isn't Everett, the union boss, white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
He turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you. Yeah, I figured this was going to be a goalposts moving kind of thing. Yeah, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, which is something your race naivistic communists never did.
Race naivistic. Jesus, Measurehead.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Okay, so we're being accused of communism and individualism simultaneously. That's fun and, yeah, pretty apropos for this kind of conversation. So I'm no communist. Communism is pretty cool. Individualism is my jam, or my jam is a mysterious fourth thing, or enough of this. Petulant individualism, huh? I don't know, communism is pretty cool.
Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you, the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
So I actually got it from disco, or it's true, I am a rock and roll star and rebel, or youth culture does not affect my thinking. I'm leaning towards rock and roll. The emphasis on the wrong syllable is really getting to Drask, yeah. I mean, that does seem to be one of his things, to be sure. Okay, let's see what he has to say about disco. I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done.
This is an exhausting conversation, Measurehead.
I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Okay, I'll ask, who are the Seminoles? Or, I don't really know who the Seminoles are. I've recently experienced head trauma. Or, wonderful, I need to enter the harbor now on police business. I don't really know who the Seminoles are. I've recently experienced head trauma.
I can see that. The Seminoles are the South Island race, haplogroup A4A, the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. We are the future. That is all you need to know.
Apologies for any dog noises that may come through the microphone. So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulembuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
Well, those are each individually words, but I don't really know how to make any sense of them. So, you did come from the islands?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
He cranes his head.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Revachol, or... Cool. Okay, so do we want to antagonize the giant racist? I mean... Obviously we want to. But should we? I did save beforehand, as is often the case. These are very lengthy and labyrinthine conversations, but I'm also doing my best to stick with my choices, though the saves are a nice bit of insurance to have, certainly. Okay, well, being annoying is a superpower, so I'm told. So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Seminoles strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world.
Okay, so now it's a tactical decision. Tent asks students in a conservative part of Texas for their pronouns. I am not the person to ask about annoying racists. I mean, good on you. And yeah, that actually makes you very much the person to ask about annoying racists, I would think.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
Okay, let's see. Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
Oh, what words, Kim? What words?
That will be the...
So that'll be our lucky racist. Or how do you know there will be a next racist? Which seems like a silly question to ask Kim. I liked the previous racist better, actually. I did not like the previous racist any better. I didn't like him less. I guess that'll be our lucky racist.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Oh, I like doing bits with Kim.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented zygomatic bone.
He leans in to inspect.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
I think that's Measurehead's version of being nice, which says a lot. Yeesh. All right, I guess our apologies. I guess our options are not good.
We still need to get into the harbor. There's an interview to conduct. There must be another way.
His gaze wanders over to the Whirling's roof to the yard. Yeah, hopefully. Alright.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. Or, yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. I mean, we are doing rockstar stuff, so yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Wait, what's that about a ludicrous fantasy world?
Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvent it as the world's first celebrity police officer. This is the beginning of your legend.
So I can do a fucking action, or no, I'm too downbeat. I won't say those things anymore. Fuck it, action.
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Alright, so now we've got another thought we can put in our cabinet, some kind of superstar. -2 logic still seems unlikely, but it's a short research time, so that's good. And it says, first, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar in the groupies and cocaine riddled with hepatitis C strikes a lion-esque pose with a mic kind of way. You're not Guillaume de Mion or Davy Dewis. No, Davy Dewey? I don't know. You're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it, where some would say it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so we either can try and figure out how high our physical instrument can reasonably go in order to, try to knock Measurehead out and get past him that way, and that would be pretty satisfying. Or we can use our conceptualization to try and internalize his racism and get him to let us pass that way. Or we can go look back at the whirling and see if we can get around him instead of past him. And so I think that probably trying the whirling route is going to make a lot of sense. I can see some orbs back there already. But it started raining on us while we were talking to Measurehead. I think that given the difficulties that I had in the previous night and continuing discomfort that I'm undergoing currently, that a slightly truncated from my usual stream will have to do today. This seems like the best stopping point I'm going to get in the next little bit. So I'm going to switch it over here to thanks for watching. Play us out on a little bit of music. And indeed, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate when people stop in. I usually try to go for a little longer. But in this case, I've got to listen to what my body is telling me and, make it a slightly shorter one for today, I think. But, always a jam to come do this. I'm enjoying getting further through this game, even though it involves talking to people like Measurehead. So join us again next time. I'll try and post about when that's going to be as soon as I have a good schedule for the next week. And we'll continue with Disco Elysium, get through some of the rest of this game, see what there is to see. And yeah, try to keep my physical instrument humming along a little bit better than Harry here has. Hopefully we find our badge soon and figure out, who all we were. So I'll let the music play for a moment and then cut stream and see y'all next time. Take care of yourselves till then. Ta-ta for now.